And the only reason that is on the list is because I've already done it and I can check it off. Welcome back to Living with a Classic, and here is my latest project car, my 1975 Jaguar XJS, which I've already gone through a little bit in two videos, one where I just got it and one where I sort of went through everything wrong with it. If you haven't seen those videos, I put a link to a playlist down below so you can check those out if you want to get up to speed. But just brief recap, 1975 XJS, very early one, chassis number 68, and it's been sitting since the early 90s. Off the road since the late 80s, so it's a bit of a project, but it seems to be pretty good. Maybe wondering, what am I doing with the cardboard here? Well, we're making a list today. We're going to figure out sort of a plan, a list, and the nice thing about this is you can cross things off. So we're going to go through a little bit of the plan of the car, but before we make the list, the plan is at least to make it in 3 different stages. At least in my opinion, when you have a car like this that is solid enough that you don't need to completely restore it, I don't want to completely restore it now, I think a rolling restoration is the best thing to do, because that way you're not spending 5 years and you never get to drive it and then you just get sick of it. So as quickly as possible, we're going to get this thing basically on the road. So that means doing some welding. That means going through all the mechanicals in the engine, replacing all the rubbers, all of that, making it safe, making it run right, going through the brakes, putting the interior in it, and just tightening up a few things, new tires, and then see if it will pass inspection or MOT. And then I can enjoy it, and then we can start doing more fun things with it. So as you know, this project is proudly sponsored by Simply Performance. I am very thrilled to have them on board with this project. I contacted them right when I got the car and told them all about it, and they were all on board, and I couldn't be happier about this. So if you don't know anything about them, they make some great upgrade kits for the XJS and other V12s. They make a better exhaust, which is more free-flowing and sounds better, so we're definitely going to fit that. They also make some better suspension components, adjustable coilovers and such things. So we're going to fit that as well, make this thing ride a little bit better and handle, not be as sort of sway, make it a little more modern feeling, but the whole idea is everything should look completely stock when you see the car, but then it should just be a little bit better than original. And the last sort of upgrade I really want to do is convert this thing into a 5-speed manual. And they have a great kit, but they're making an even better kit now, which should come out in 6 months or so, they think. So I will get one of the first kits that they come out with, which would be a Tremec TRX gearbox, I believe they said, custom bell housing, all of that, and I think that will look very, very, very cool. But once again, I want to make it look stock, so I'm going to have a stock ski slope, a stock looking manual, because you could get these in manuals, are very, very rare, but they made a handful of them, and they, for the early cars, so have it look very stock. At least that's my plan. But let's make a list for getting this thing on the road and ready. It's going to be quite a long list, but let's get going. All right, so what should we call this thing? It doesn't have a name yet, but we'll call it Project X for XJS. All right. Well, first thing would be clean out interior. And the only reason that is on the list is because I've already done it and I can check it off. All right, now on to the next thing. Well, weld floor plus paint floor. So that is most likely just on the passenger side, but paint all of it. So welding the floor. Then we have, what's a good thing to do after that? I'm guessing get the engine going. So replace coolant hoses, plus water pump. Learned that the hard way the last time. I had my 1977 XJ12, which has also been sitting for a long time. Got it going, everything, and then after it ran for maybe 5-6 hours with everything together, water pump started leaking. So replaced that while I'm in there, and flushed everything as well. Then we'll do paint cam cover gasket, or paint cam covers. Plus air filter houses or housing. Replace all fuel hoses. Check over D-jet sensors. So check through all the sensors in the fuel injection system. There is probably a lot of them that have to be cleaned or replaced. So we're gonna have a look over that. Already checked the transmission. The car does go in gear. It feels really good. Transmission fluid looks good. So nothing wrong with the transmission in that at the moment, I think. This one I'm not really sure. Replace fuel pump. Current one is working, but I mean, it's been sitting forever. It's one of those things, it's usually cheaper just to replace it than to have the car towed home when it stops on the highway. Flush fuel system, or flush fuel tank. Maybe seal. We'll have a look inside the fuel tank with a small little camera, see what it looks like on the inside, if it's savable or if it needs to be, sealed. Carpets need to go in the car. I need to check if I have all of them, or I need to purchase some carpets. Then let's just say electrics. That will be a big one. Lights don't seem to work. Light switch, other things we can put on here. Or I think we'll make this into different categories. So electric, windows, they were completely dead. Then we need to, it's not the easiest to think here on the fly, but the ignition switch, needs to be done. I have one at least. Blower motor is completely rusted. On one side, I have a spare one. At the same time, I think we need to inspect, let's call this the AC / heater system, because that might be completely rusted out as well. So I might need to replace the whole sort of housing that sits in. Interior. We'll start by source. I'm missing a lot of things. Install interior. All right, front brakes, because they are the easy ones. So we'll do /replace. Everything was new. Yeah, like I said, in the early 90s. Been sitting. I'm guessing, and that needs to be gone through again. The brakes do actually work, sort of. There's fluid in the system, doesn't look that bad, and they do work and they don't stick. So I'm guessing the discs needs to be done. And You can do at the same time, look over front suspension. I think that's incorrect, but we'll go with that. And then we'll do rear brakes. And rear suspension. If we're lucky there, rear brakes are pretty fine and we don't need to do that much about them. Otherwise, we'll just drop the whole rear suspension and probably go through most of it. But since again, everything else should be pretty much new, maybe it's just the brakes need to be replaced. Front wind screen seal plus trim. I am missing the trim. I have to source that. Windscreen seal is completely shot. Most of the other seals are also sort of shot on the car, but we'll start with that one. That's the worst one, and maybe we'll do the other ones later. And I'm trying to think what else, just to get it sort of, let's call it on the road. Oh yeah, power steering. Rebuild the power steering rack, because I have actually looked a little bit underneath and I saw that the gaiters are split on it and it is pouring out fluid. So that needs to be rebuilt. But I think this is a pretty good list for right now. So this will be the initial steps at least. Before we end this video, I want to show just how nice this car looks in the wheel wells. I got my phone here as a flashlight, but just have a look at that. It is so nice in there. It looks pretty much brand new. It's even better looking up front. Let's see. I mean, just look at that. It is really excellent. So I think we really did luck out with this car. I think it won't be too bad to go through, but once again, it definitely is a pretty big project. Okay, I realized I forgot a couple things. So we need new tires plus polish wheels. Make those look really nice. And there was one more thing. I should have really planned this out before. But it's more fun to do things on the fly. When I think of it, I'll add it to the list and let you guys know. So I think we got a pretty good list here. And the nice thing is we can already cross one thing off. And I think pretty soon we'll be able to cross most things off, and there's room to add some things. There's some room over here. But I think those just make it more fun. We can sort of see how far, you know, we've come and what is left to do to get this thing on the road. So we're talking about, you know, timing here. When do I think this will be done? Well, if everything goes well, I really hope to be able to drive this thing in 2022. I mean, I'm not talking January, February, but at some point, you know, summer or late summer, or maybe this time next year if everything goes well. But that, of course, means that I don't find any nasty surprises or any like major rebuilds that I'll have to save up for, and that you guys continue watching and enjoy this series. You know, the more you guys watch, the faster I can do things, and you know, the more of a chance I have of getting this thing done pretty soon. And I don't think you guys are excited to hear this thing run and see it out on the road again. But sort of wondering where we should start, and I think, you know, welding would be a good place to start. However, when I do the welding, I only want to have one car in here, and this time of year I don't want to let cars sit outside too much. So that will probably have to wait until the spring, but we can do a lot until then. And I think the engine would be a good place to start. Get that thing looking nice, do a lot of painting and polishing and cleaning, and clean all that up, I think that would be a really good place to start, and of course source some parts. But let me know in the comments down below if you have a particular place you want me to start, or if anything you particularly want to see on this car. Please do let me know. And one more thing I will need to do, I don't usually work in this side of the workshop, I just usually store a car here, so I need to set up more lights, so that's something I will do as well. So there's better lighting over here so you guys can see better when I'm filming, and I can see better when I'm working as well. But you know, sometimes you gotta work with what you got, so get some more fixtures over here and it should be really good. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.